Good morning. Workinvoice is an invoice trading platform, is the only invoice trading platform which is fully operational in Italy. What I would like to do today is also to give you a view of what's happening in Italy in the SME financing environment. What we do, basically, we are the only channel that is available in Italy today to get to a very vast market, which is the receivable market for invoices issued by SMEs. So basically, we perform three main activities: origination, selection of both debtor and sellers, and online distribution of the paper. Why Italy is an attractive market? This is a very important point. Because it's a huge market. I just want to give you a figure that might surprise you. The factoring market in Italy is twice as big as the US market, factoring market. So that's why innovative solutions are definitely needed. To give you another number, just 27% of the total receivables issued by SMEs are actually financed by the traditional system, i.e. banks and factoring companies. So first side. And second, what is peculiar in the Italian market for receivables compared for example, you see here Germany, is the duration of the invoices. Italy is probably the worst country in Europe in terms of payment behavior. The average duration of an invoice in Italy is 60 days contractual terms plus 20 days delay. So, and also a very dramatic phenomenon for the SMEs in Italy is that 86% of large corporates do not pay on time. As you can see, there is a huge need for alternative solutions in Italy. Again, this is something that you have already heard and seen during the very first presentation of this event. The guys from Funding Circle were talking about the three macro trends that are pushing this industry. I mean, all these three macro trends are strong in Italy. First of all, there's been a massive credit crunch. Just again, to give you a number, since January 2009 till now, the credit crunch was for a total amount of roughly 80 billion euro. This is credit that was there is not there any longer. Banks are, retreating from the SME business because it's not profitable for them, because it's highly risky for them, and therefore they are downsizing their SMEs portfolio as in other countries. Again, factoring companies, because of their very, very high cost, they don't like small companies. They only go for big tickets. Okay, how it works? It's extremely simple. It's a pure market. It's auction-based, like our friends at Market Invoice here in the UK. The seller, so the SMEs, receive an advance of 90% of the amount of the invoice just after the auction. And then when the invoice is paid by the debtor, he receives the balance, which is, of course, the remaining 10% minus their remuneration for the investor. Simple and easy. Risk management. I don't know how you are familiar with invoice investing and invoice trading in general, but there are two main risks, of course. One is the credit risk of the debtor of the invoice, and the other one is the risk of fraud. The debtor rating is on Workinvoice is done by an ESMA certified rating agency. What we kept in-house was the fraud risk, because the fraud risk, as you probably know, the more you do it, the more you get better at doing it. Just a few words on the risk profile of investing in invoices in general and in Italy in particular. The graph over there shows two things. The blue line is I guess, is a proxy of the yield for receivables in Italy, because it's the Bank of Italy official rate for bank and discounting invoices in a bank. And as you can see, is almost a flat line. I mean, this is a very long-term graph, starts in 2005. So in the last 11 years, that rate has moved between 7 and 9%. So it's basically a flat rate. While the green graph, of course, is the yield for a synthetic corporate bond, and is taken from an ETF. So you see, receivables, they don't have a market. This is simple economic theory. When you have a flat price, it means that whatever it happens in the economy, whatever it happens with the quantitative easing, whatever it happens with cash available, and you have a flat price, it means there's not a market for that. And the other thing that it shows is absolute decorrelation with the traditional market. And by the way, at the moment, there is the maximum gap between the corporate bond market and the receivable market. What we have done so far, we launched in the first quarter last year. Volumes are going pretty well. We've done more than 300 transactions so far. So they are started to generate some interesting proprietary data. What's the duration of the asset class at the moment is south of 50 days. And as you can see, we have very limited delayed payment. I'm taking a jump here, and I try to compare Workinvoice with the mighty Marketinvoice that you probably all know. We are, of course, very far from there, but if you look at stats, the Italian market is much worse than the UK market, I told you before, but our statistics are pretty much in line with the UK market. Just to quote a number, we have 0.92% delinquent invoices, where delinquent means I took the same definition that Marketinvoice is using, so trades that have been 45 days overdue or where the debtor has gone into administration. This is where we want to go. I mean, at the moment, we are doing 1.5 million euro per week. Our target for beginning of next year is to get to 5 million per week. A look at credit, big names, but on top of that, the fact that we don't accept on the platform risky credit. So as you can see from the graph, 92% of the debtors have what they call an equilibrated or healthy credit, as stated by the rating agency. A quick word on what is similar, what is different. You are probably familiar now with other invoice trading platform. You have seen Marketinvoice presenting here. You have seen Investly presenting here. I try to put together what is really different in Workinvoice towards other platforms. Three main things. We have insurance companies that are already providing insurance on the receivables traded on the platform. We have just launched the first securitization vehicle on a private basis in Italy, which is a smart way to invest in our receivables and our approach to risk management. I don't think we have the time to go through all of them, but of course I'm available for more information. What I really would like you to take a very quick look is to what is actually online, because today is auction date in Milan. So if you can switch to the, great.
Can you try it?
Yeah, okay. Just take a look, okay.
No, sorry, I don't know why that's...
Okay.
No, switch back.
Okay, okay, but this is basically the dashboard for every auction. Just one last thing, everything is totally transparent. You're going to see the debtor, you're going to see the seller, you're going to have a lot of all the necessary information on the invoice and on the other attached document. I hope it helped. Thank you.